Good morning, Taurus. Welcome to this general sun, moon, rising reading. I'm going to slightly change the format on the way I do readings going forward. I'm going to do a little bit about your love life, your career, your finances. But to begin with, let's see what you should be focused on. Okay. What is it you should be focused on? Balance. Trying to handle too much at once. There's the energy here of needing to prioritize. It would seem you are trying to handle too much. Okay. There's decisions to be made. There does seem some kind of rush about this. Okay, maybe somebody's pressurizing you for an answer. This could be in work. There's a pressure here. Okay. Maybe some of you feel like you're being forced to make a decision. No, you're not. It's focus on your balance, focus on what's most important to you. Okay. Within your capabilities and your finances, okay, take one step at a time. Focus on your emotions a little bit, on trying to balance them out. Any decisions you make, try to make that a balanced decision, with finances, intuition, feelings in mind. It's not a good idea from the universe to make decisions solely emotionally, solely intuitively, or solely on inspiration. It's kind of like it is a juggling act to kind of try to be as impartial as you can, okay, when making decisions. Right. What is your energy this week? Moon card. Well, perhaps some of you don't know what the hell's going on here. Perhaps you're keeping somebody in the dark. I'm kind of getting that it is a bit of a challenge keeping people around you out of the loop until you've made this kind of decision. Overcoming fear. There's a huge desire here. There's a huge ambition for some of you. Okay. There's a dream you want to fulfill. Maybe you want your dream person. But in relationships, there is a lot of unknown factors about this. Rushing into it without trusting your intuition, trusting your experience in past relationships is perhaps not a good idea. Listen to your dreams. Okay. There is signs there. Look for them. Synchronous numbers, dreams, deja vu, all this sort of stuff. What's the energy of the person approaching you? Yeah, they're very cautious. They're focused on themselves at the moment. Okay. They've been hurt by you. There's been some extremes in temperament here. This is where the balance factor comes in. I'm picking up for some of you a reconnection with this person. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. But they're very, very grounded. Okay. They're very much focused on themselves at the moment. There's a lot of misunderstandings between you two. They do want a fresh start with you, but they're very cautious. They perhaps think it's just going to lead to another fight or whatever. The situation they're in, it demands a lot of their time and energy. They can't seem to, it's either they haven't got the time or there's a lot of other stuff going on in their life. They're about this relationship with this person. Okay, there's some aspects they're not willing to give way on. They're kind of willing to meet you halfway, okay? They're willing to talk to you to try and find solutions. Okay. They want to be honest with you, but they feel at the moment they're not quite ready. for full commitment. There's a lot of stuff needs to be resolved between you two. Okay. Right. Let's get your career. What's going on with your career? What's going on with your career? Connections. Okay. Whatever it is you want to do in career, it's all about forming connections, building bridges with people that can help you. Okay. And this could be searching on internet, this could be going to speak to people. Okay. But whatever actions you take in the next few weeks will depict progress or not. Your actions set you up for the next opportunity. Okay. So if you just sit there waiting, I'm kind of getting nothing's going to happen. Okay. It's okay wishing, but you've got to take some kind of action here. All right. If you want to improve your working life, there is a good chance here. I'm kind of getting a lot of you do want to change your careers. Perhaps there's a fear you want to work for yourselves. You're not going to know anything unless you go find out. Okay, let's just clarify this with a tarot card about your career. Oh, well, several cards. I've got the Tower. I've got walking away from your present situation. Too many distractions. Picking up this feeling stuck. This feeling very much unappreciated. Well, there's travel here. Okay, connections in travel. Have you thought of relocating for your job? Now, this sounds simple, but it's not because of complications, relationships, etc., and finances. But a lot of responsibility or a chance to improve your lot, okay, with work. But it's the Chariot's all about making the effort. You can get to where you want to be. You can achieve the status you want to be at. Okay. Remembering one thing, nobody really has power over you unless you give them it. All right. You have to give your power away. All right. Emperor there. I am seeing success. There is people in authority that can help you if possible. If you need to relocate, okay, if possible, talk to people who are already there. You can do this by the internet, etc. But this feeling of being stuck, no, it's if you can overcome any fears you have, you are walking into the unknown. For some of you, this is going into work that you've never done before. Hey, learning curve. But the Tower moment, 8 of Cups, there is a good energy there for you to change your job and go into something that you would actually love doing. Okay. Right, let's get your finances. I'm picking up here, there may be for some of you, just before we get into finances, that there's a sudden loss of a job here. But it will give you the cloud does have a silver lining and things might be hard, but it gives you a lot of inspiration to go into something new here. Okay. What do we have on your finances? What do we have with finances? Ooh, changeable. Maybe in the past you've been a bit frivolous with finances. Okay. This is not a time to be frivolous. You can pick yourself up on picking up changes in your financial situation, or the energy is there for you to change the energy, like change what you do, change the way you handle finances. Okay. I'm getting some kind of bonus for some of you in work. They could. I'm even picking up for one of you a lottery win. Okay, might not be the jackpot, but it's enough to get you going. Okay, but I don't know. Beware of people trying to con you out of money. Beware of scammers. Okay, with your finances. Going back to this being frivolous, if you have been frivolous with your finances, gone on spending sprees, and then all of a sudden looked at your bank balance and think, oh my God, I've overspent on the old card. With a different attitude, you can, towards the end of the year at least, put yourself in a stable position. But it is going to require focus, okay, and concentration, and, putting things in order, if necessary, jotting things down on importance, like bills, mortgage, etc. But there is a new opportunity, a fresh start, but it will require, it's a transitional thing here. There's not an instant fix to your finances, okay? But I'm getting slow, progressive concentration on your finances and keeping an eye on your finances. I mean, with technology it is today, there's many ways you can organize your finances. But I am seeing an opportunity here to improve your finances. Okay, but it is going to require work. It is going to require focus. That's it for this week. Take care.